Hey guys, this is the Honda City RS petrol variant. It costs 99,900 ringgit. And if you're wondering why am I talking about a car that's been in the market for a while, well, it hasn't. This is actually the facelifted version. So what do you get with the facelift? You get a new restyled, more aggressive bumper. You get a new front grille, some couple of technologies inside of the car. But guess what? It is still as spacious as ever, as comfortable as ever, and is still a great family car. Yes, I did say family car because, as I'm going to demonstrate later, it's still a brilliant machine to take your family out, perhaps for a weekend's getaway. So come with me as I show you why the Honda City, especially this model, the RS model, the petrol variant at least, because there's two RS versions. There's the RS Hybrid and the RS Petrol. This is the RS Petrol, and it's plenty of fun and it has really cool technologies. Let's check it out. So we start with the boys' bicycle. And then finally, the wife's bag, which goes here. Okay, 519 liters of boot space. You can obviously optimize this to be, more efficient. But this is a typical day in our family where everything just chucks in and nobody really gives a thought. But what's really important to consider over here that with 519 liters of boot space, you can do all this. Its closest competitor, for example, the Toyota Vios, has a boot space that measures in at 475 liters, which is roughly about 44 liters smaller. You might think that 44 liters is no big deal, but you may not be able to do this. That means that you may not be able to fit in your kid's bicycle. Now, safety. We also have to consider that we have to install your baby seat. The Honda City comes with ISOFIX mounts. So now I'm going to demonstrate how we are going to install the baby seat in the Honda City. Okay, so ISOFIX mounts are basically almost a must-have in any family car that you're going to consider. So the Honda City 2 comes with it, and it's as basic as clicking. That's it. That's all you need to do. Just click and tighten your child's baby seat, and it's ready. And look, I didn't even have to move the front passenger seat. So that's already plenty of space for your kid, in safety and in relative comfort as well. Now, let's go hit the road. Alright, so we're finally in the car. Finally packed up, locked in, strapped in, and it looks like the clouds are building up. And usually I'd be worried, especially since it's rainy season and you do not know what type of weather you're going to be hitting on the highway and such. But I'm not too worried as well, because one of the other most important things in a good family car that you should consider as well are the safety systems that come together with the car. So just to demonstrate a little bit, the Honda City, for example, the one that we are in right now, comes with 6 airbags, comes with brake assist, ABS, traction control, comes with the entire works. But then it also comes with the Honda Sensing Suite, which comes with things like a forward collision warning, collision mitigation, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, which is one of my favorite systems. I think you need to try it to appreciate it, because it automatically brakes and accelerates the car according to what's ahead of the car, depending on traffic situations and such. The other thing that I've really come to appreciate is something called lead car departure notification. Now, this is not exactly safety related, but it basically avoids people honking at you when you're in traffic. But the thing about, for example, when you are at the traffic lights or you're in traffic jam, most of us, guilty, yes, tend to be on our phones replying messages or simply, doom scrolling, whatever. And sometimes, I'm sure you have experienced this as well, the car ahead of you just moves ahead without you noticing, and then suddenly everybody is honking at you, right? Let's admit it, we've all been there. But that is what this system is for. That's what lead car departure notification system is for. It prompts you, it tells you when the cars ahead have moved on. And just hitting the road. Are we okay? And of course, in this price category, fuel efficiency is the other thing that all of us are sensitive about. Let's face it, fuel prices are going to be going up. Fuel prices are going to be going up for sure. That's basically what we are gathering from the whispers around the government, right? So how then do you best deal with this situation? You buy a car that is efficient. That's the best answer to that, right? Right now, for example, Honda City RS petrol variant, 1.5 litre engine, 16 valve, double overhead cams, comes with a 40 litre fuel tank. I'm just about a quarter tank down from a full tank, and it's telling me I have a range of about 390 kilometers left. My average fuel consumption right now is telling me about 13.5 kilometers per litre. I know this car can do better than that. So in terms of efficiency, I think it's a no-brainer. And that the 1.5 litre engine in this Honda City is actually quite efficient. In terms of power, well, that's a different story altogether. You don't buy a Honda City for power. But just in case you're into all these numbers regarding power and such, I'm happy to tell you that it has 121 PS and 145 Newton meters of torque, which, again, if referenced against the Toyota Vios, the new Toyota Vios, the Honda City is more powerful. Power is sent to the front wheels through a CVT gearbox, and top speed, on the other hand, is rated at 195 kilometers per hour. With regards to the Toyota though, it has a top speed of 180 kilometers per hour. So why am I referencing the Toyota Vios? Well, besides the fact that the Toyota Vios and the Honda City are arch rivals, we also recently shot a wheel-to-wheel comparison between the Toyota Vios and the Honda City. So that's why, well, I'm fresh off that shoot, so that's why I have all these figures in my head. But look out for that video as well. Might help you with your purchase decision. So the other thing that I really like about the Honda City, besides all of that I've demonstrated regarding family friendliness, safety and such, is the spaciousness in this thing. Because, truth be told, it is, again, more spacious than the Toyota Vios. Simply because the Vios has a fastback design, and with the sloping roofline, it sort of creates a tight rear compartment for the rear passengers. So that makes it seem like it's smaller and such. It also has a higher center console, which means that you have to sit with your legs closer together rather than, being able to get really comfortable. So all of these things actually create a more comfortable sitting position for the driver as well as for the passenger. In my books, important. So we ended up doing a totally random road trip to Ipoh. I say random because it was basically unplanned. Yesterday was a day out with the wife and kid. Today though, I'm here on the highway driving to Ipoh to drop off my boss here, my dad, and seated behind is his boss, my mom. And so my dad's been staying with us for the past couple of days while my mom was away in India. So my mom just got back last night, and I thought, okay, since I have the Honda City, I'll just take a short road trip to Ipoh, drop them back, and go back home tonight. And that basically highlights one of the aspects about the Honda City that I quite like, which is the ability to traverse long distances while still keeping you relatively comfortable. The other thing about a car that does long distance drives rather well is, I would like to go back to my earlier points, is efficiency. So we left KL with a half tank, and I'm here with now down to a quarter. The onboard computer is telling me that I still have a range of about 131 kilometers, and with the average fuel consumption of 14.2 kilometers per liter. And my driving style, well, in the words of a friend of mine, I was driving safe yet fast. So we left KL at about 3:30. It's 5:30 over here right now, and we are just about to exit to Ipoh. Comfort, efficiency, and because my mom just came back from India, as with any self-respecting Indian woman that comes back from India, it's full of bags. And I'm going back to KL tonight, right after this. In fact, there are few cars that I would do that with. The Honda City is one of them. So I played my duties as a son, dropped off my parents in Ipoh, and the return leg starts now at 7 p.m. Another further 200 kilometers, 200 plus, maybe 220. So roughly 450 kilometers in this car today alone. I just gotta say this, that it's at a 99,900 ringgit price bracket. Perhaps you're thinking that, hey, the city has just got so much more expensive than it was. Guys, it's also important to consider that the city is also a lot bigger, a lot more sophisticated, a lot more efficient, and a lot more comfortable as well. It is no longer the city that you know from yesteryears. It is perhaps the ideal family companion to those that are looking for a car that has space for a young growing family, or even an adult family, that has all the comforts, safety features, and everything that you would want in a good family car. It is brilliant, I have to say that. I mean, even my parents, who are in their 60s, found it, and these are people that had reference points. What I mean by reference points is, these are the people that grew up, that spent their years seeing all these cars being introduced, go through their life cycle, and some perhaps didn't even make it, and some just got better, case in point. I remember I grew up in a small town called Kampa, and my neighbor, whose uncle was a police officer, came in a Civic hatchback, and this Civic hatchback had one of those bulky motorized power windows at the side here, and it was just wow. People were just crowded around the car. Such was the allure of that Honda Civic. And now the Hondas still have that magical allure. They still have that. However, at 99,900 ringgit, it's much more than just a brand now. It is also a partner for your life. I'm giving this car back tomorrow. I got a long drive ahead of me. I got a couple of other things that I want to say. So I'll say that in conclusion tomorrow. Kind of sad, because I actually like this as a day-to-day car. And 1 week with this car, although enough to tell you how it is like to live with, it just doesn't seem long enough to actually not want to drive this car anymore. Tomorrow's going to be hard. So my time with the Honda City is coming to an end. I'm about 10 minutes away from Honda Malaysia's office to return the car. As I said, bittersweet feelings about it because I truly appreciate a fuss-free, no-nonsense, straightforward car that is well put together, has all the features that you would like in a modern car, and has quality behind it all. Yes, you may not expect the Honda City to be associated with quality, but trust me on this, everything from the steering wheel to the way the window switches feel and the way even the gear knob shifts, everything feels nice. And on that note, I think it just perfects the package, the Honda City package, especially for its price segment. I think I've demonstrated that it's good enough for the family. I've demonstrated that it's quite efficient, even has a long distance road trip partner, as what I did yesterday with that totally impromptu trip to Ipoh. But I've not told you about the Honda Connect app. It's basically an application that you can download on your iOS or Android-driven hardware, meaning phone, and it basically gives you access, helps you book services, book your service at your preferred service outlet. It even helps you find things like your fuel, your petrol station, your closest petrol station. It's just supposed to make your life easier. But it also allows you to remotely turn on your car, which is quite important, I think, because imagine this, you might be away in Singapore, Thailand, or away on holiday in Australia for a couple of weeks, and you're worried about your car running flat on battery, your car's battery going flat basically. And what you can do is, as long as your phone and your car is connected, not necessarily your car but your phone, you can actually remotely switch on your car, turn on your car, and at the same time your doors will not unlock. So that way you can warm up your car remotely. The person that walked past your car, as it turned out, would probably totally freak out, but that's the idea. You can actually do that. But then there's another feature that I really like about the Honda Connect app, and that is called geofencing. So geofencing, you can do this. You can set a perimeter of a couple of kilometers. If I'm not mistaken, it's 3 kilometers, up to 200 kilometers wide, or 170 kilometers wide, something of that sort. And if your car crosses this geofence, you'll be alerted. So I'm kind of glad that this technology was not around, otherwise my dad would use it on me all the time. I would have got the beating of my life as well. But anyway, if you're buying a car for your child, your college-going kid, and you want to make sure that they are where they say they are, or they don't go more than where you allow them to go, this geofencing basically is designed for things like that. Actually, it's designed for companies but if you are an overreaching parent, it'll work for you as well. So it has basically macam-macam type of features, the Honda Connect app, which I think is brilliant. So not only is it a well put together car with some really nice seats and capabilities to go long distance and to do so efficiently, I think it even has some proper technology behind it, which is pretty impressive for the Honda City. But yeah, that's my experience with the Honda City. I think it's a brilliant family car. I think it's a brilliant all-rounder. For the price, it's hard to beat. Thank you for watching. I'm Kashi Dylan. As usual, do consider subscribing.